Hi everyone. Now we have seen the principle of cell communication. Signals that pass between the cells are easier as compared to the message conveyed in between the human beings. In a typical communication between the cells, the signaling cells produces the particular type of signaling molecules that is detected by the target cell. Target cell possesses some kinds of receptors and these receptors get recognized and respond specifically to the signal molecule. These are the principle of cell communication. These are the signaling cell get send the signaling molecules to the target cell, and these signaling molecules are bind to the receptors which is present on the target cells. After the binding, it going to activate the intracellular pathway and it gives the cellular response. In other hand, here is a non-targeted cell. Here is a absent of here is absent of receptor, that's why it doesn't get any cellular response. Now intracellular signaling pathway which is activated by the extracellular signaling molecules. Now signaling molecules are the molecules that are responsible for the transmitting information between the cells. There are many types of signaling molecules which include peptides, lipophilic and hydrophilic molecules and some kinds of gases. Now, binding of extracellular signaling molecule to the surface of receptor, they get trigger intracellular pathway that ultimately modulate cellular metabolism function and their development. In this figure, we have seen that the ligand, these are the signaling molecules, get bind to the receptor which is present on the top of target cell. After the binding, there is activation of intracellular signal and after the activation it gives the cellular response. Now we have seen the forms of intracellular signaling. First form is the paracrine signaling. This type of signaling in which cells communicate over relatively short distance is by using the chemical messengers. This signaling called as the paracrine signaling. Now paracrine signaling allows the cell to locally coordinate activity with their neighboring cells. Paracrine signals are especially important during development when they allow one group of cells to tell a neighboring cells what cellular identity to take on. These are the presenting the paracrine signaling in which the sending cells send the chemical messengers to the targeted cells. But here is a distance between signaling cell and target cell is too short. That's why this is called as paracrine signaling. Now second one, we have seen the synaptic signaling. This synaptic signaling are the one example of the paracrine signaling. This synaptic signaling occur within the synapse. Synapse nothing but the junction between two nerve cells where the signal transmission is occur. When the sending neurons and an electrical impulse move rapidly through the cells traveling down a long fiber-like extension called as axons. When the impulse reaches to the synapse, it triggers the release of ligand called as neurotransmitter which quickly crosses the small gap between the nerve cells. When the neurotransmitter is arrived at the receiving cell, they bind to the receptor and cause a chemical change inside the cell. These are the figure of synaptic signaling. From the electrical impulse are come from the sending cells, and here is the neurotransmitter storage vesicles are present. After the electrical impulse are coming and reaches to this point, after it get released the neurotransmitter from these vesicles into the synapse. After this release within the synapse, it get bind to the receptor that is present onto the receiving cells, and after it they gives the cellular response. Now third one is endocrine signaling, in which when cells need to transmit signals over long distance, they often use a circulatory system, nothing but the blood, as a distribution network for the message they send. A long distance endocrine signaling signals are produced by specialized cells and released into the bloodstream, which carries them to target cell in distant part of the body. Signals that are produced in one part of the body and travel through a circulation to reach faraway targets are known as hormones. In humans, endocrine glands that release hormones including the thyroid, the hypothalamus and pituitary, as well as gonads and the pancreas. These are the endocrine glands. Each endocrine gland releases one or more types of hormone, many of which are master regulator of development and physiology. For example, pituitary gland releases the growth hormone, which promote growth particularly of the skeletal and cartilage. However, cartilage cell provide one example of growth hormone functions. It binds to receptor on the surface of these cells and encourage them to divide. These are the endocrine signaling, in which signaling cell are send their message through the blood stream up to the target cell. These are the long distance. That's why they use the circulatory system for the convey the message to from signaling cell to the target cell. After it, we have seen the third one, contact dependent signaling. Now after it, we have seen the contact dependent signaling, in which gap junction in animals and plasmodemata in plants are tiny channels that directly connect neighboring cells to each other. These water-filled channels allow small signaling molecules called as intracellular mediators to diffuse between the two cells. Small molecules such as calcium ion are able to move between the channels or between the channels to the cells, but large molecules like protein and DNA cannot fit through the channels without the special assistant. The transfer of signaling molecules transmit the current state of one cell to its newborn cells. This allows a group of cells to coordinate their response to a signal that only one of them may have received. In plants, there are plasmodemata between almost all cells, making the entire plant into one giant network. These are the signaling cell and these are the target cells. Between them, these are the channels that may help these signaling molecules get diffused to the target cell by using this channel. After that, in another form of direct signaling, two cells may bind to one another because of they carry complementary proteins on their surface. When the proteins bind to one another, this interaction changes the shape of one or both proteins transmitting the signal. This kind of signaling is especially important in the immune system, where the immune cells use cell surface marker to recognize self cell or host cell. In this figure, we have seen the contact dependent signaling. A natural killer immune cells recognize the healthy cells of the body by binding to a self marker on the cell's surface. These are the natural killer cells and these are the healthy cells. And here is a self marker is important for the identification of the healthy cell or self cell. Thank you.